Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to show some Batman items. We have 4 items from the 70s, only one from the 80s and a couple from the 90s. So on the table here, this is a Batman cape for children. This is from Sears. It's made by Sears apparently based on what the tag says, so it would have only been sold in Sears stores. It's from 1977. Now, I did wear this cape when I was younger. It was something I played with. Wore it on a Halloween as well. It's not very big, obviously, because it's for kids. So this would be, you can tell in the frame, it's a little longer than the frame, but not too much longer there. It's a couple feet. And it's not cut like a Batman cape. It's just curved on the bottom. But it's something fun for kids. Next up, Batman Jigsaw Puzzle. This is from 1973. That's actually older than I am. This is from American Publishing Corporation, based in Massachusetts. And although it says Jigsaw Puzzle here, it also has the French word for puzzle. It is pronounced, I believe, I had to listen on the internet because I don't know French, but they say it's casse-tête. So, yeah, it means puzzle or brain teaser. I'm not sure why they have French on the box. I mean, maybe some items in the US did. I mean, I don't know from the 70s if that was normal, but I don't see that very often now. But it's possible this was sold in Canada as well, which may be why they did that. Or this could be a separate box that was only in Canada. I'm not sure where we acquired it from. It's possible we bought it in Canada. We've been there when I was younger. I do have it built, so slide it on over. It's a pretty nice image, but I'm having a hard time, I think, interpreting it perfectly because it's cut off kind of here. They give you this impression that the Batmobile's speeding, but I think it's just more or less showing it went from here to here. It's braking, or it's come to a complete stop, I think, at this point. Because if you look at here, it looks like it's on a dock, the end of a dock. So if you keep going, you go in the water, and Batman's leaping out, and I find it hard to believe Robin was driving. So maybe he leapt over here to stop the car as Batman jumped out to get the crooks, who appear to be sitting. And although there's a garbage can and a dumpster right here, I think it's just they're close to the dock and the edge of the pier. So they're probably sitting in a boat. Batman was racing to stop them, but just kind of have to guess. And of course you got the Gotham cityscape backdrop and the moon. It's a night image. It's a pretty simple puzzle. The only challenge is really the sky. But I don't know if it's meant for kids, but of course mostly it says ages 7 and up, so probably kids mostly did this, but I like it. Just gonna slide it off the table. Alright, next up, the Batman cartoon kit, which is, they call it a cartoon kit. It's Colorforms. And this one has the original price tags on it. Looks like $1.69, I think, on sale for $1.19. This is at Caldor. Not sure if Caldor was nationwide. I grew up in Connecticut, and Caldor is like I guess similar to a Kmart type store. This is from 1976. Now, Colorforms were pretty popular back then. I've got a lot of Colorform sets. Some were my sister's, but I'll probably have a video on only Colorforms at some point. Now, these don't stick well anymore at all, so they're all slid around. Try to keep them kind of where they belong on the little holder here, but since they don't stick, they just come right off, and they don't stick to the background anymore either. So here's a picture of the documentation that came with it. Kind of tells you to put them away, and it says if you wipe them with a damp cloth from time to time, they stick much better. I tried wiping some with with little water, but it didn't help. I mean, these are over 40 years old. I doubt they were made to last all that long. But they're just plastic. Thing is the cardboard's kind of rough and stained now. That's probably part of it. But yeah, they don't stick, so I'm not going to really build you a picture here. But this is what they look like. Batman, this whole set I guess is Batman. Though there are guns, and he certainly doesn't use guns, so I don't know. They show Joker kind of dropping the gun, but in the picture it's yellow, whereas the set it's actually blue. So there's Joker, Robin, looks pink here, purplish pink, but he's actually red. And then Penguin and Joker are both yellow. With Colorforms, usually you get these two panels that pop off from the box. There's the picture to work with. You got the Batmobile, again a cityscape, a moon, and a street. So the idea is just to, take Colorform and you place it on the picture. In this case, you got to put the arms and legs all separately. And they have some captions too, which I think is more an influence from possibly from the 60s television show. Though it could be the comic books as well. I'm sure they had actions written in the panels. But I just find that a lot of things from the 70s had influence from television or movies. And in Batman's case, the television show with Adam West. So that's all you really do is you build a picture. Like I said, I'm not going to put together a whole picture. That's all Colorforms are. They stick, you move them around. So I'll put this away. Alright, from the 70s I also have some vehicles. Mostly plastic. I guess there's the die-cast cars, but they have plastic and stickers on them as well. These two are the villains, Penguin and Joker. Joker's car looks kind of like an old-style ambulance. There are no moving parts on it aside from the wheels. And I don't see a plastic guy inside, whereas a lot of these do have that. These are from Corgi. You can tell there's meant to be a siren there. It's just a piece of plastic. It doesn't light up or anything. And these are from 1979. The Penguin car, it has the guy here. Like I said, a lot of Corgi cars do have people. This one looks pretty good. A lot of them look really bad, but this looks like the Penguin. I mean, he's got the hat, and they gave him sideburns as well. He looks like he's in a tuxedo, so he looks really good. Here's a Batman car, clearly not to scale with these because Batmobile's a bit small and Batman looks really tiny. He's sitting right here. And of course, this one is modeled after the television show, I believe. I mean, it looks a lot like it. This one is a bit older than the others. This is 1976. He does have a little hook here, as if he could, pull an attachment. And then I've got the Batcopter. You can fold up the blades. It does have moving parts. This doesn't spin fast, but it spins. Again, the Batcopter was featured in the TV show. I mean, I don't have the comic books from the 70s, so I don't know how accurate these are, but I think they look like the television show myself. I saw these in person, and well, the real copter has normal blades. I did see these in person, and they look similar to that. I saw them in an air show where they did fly the helicopter, but the Batmobile, they didn't drive it in the show. So these are Corgi cars. I've got mostly DC characters. I've got a few more I'll show in a Superman video. I've got one Marvel item, so Corgi did make Marvel characters as well. Alright, onto the 80s, where I'm only showing one item. It's a book. Yeah, books aren't always the most interesting thing to look at on video, but I think this is a great book. It's actually from a pen and paper role-playing game, which I've never played, but it has a lot of cool information in it. So it's a Batman source book, and it's got a lot of details on Batman, his allies, a group called the Outsiders, who I wasn't really familiar with until I was flipping through this book. And I know who Black Lightning and Katana are, but these other characters, Geoforce, Halo, and Metamorpho, I'm not too familiar with. I didn't really start reading Batman comic books on a regular basis until the late 80s through the late 90s. It's just when I stopped. But I had random comic books throughout the 80s, just not on a regular basis. So there was things for me to learn in here. And you got to remember, this is way before the internet where you can just look up anything you want. And they would release like Origins, like annual issues, like a yearly one-shot with it was thicker than a regular comic book with profiles. So that's really the only way to get all the information you wanted from comic books and regular books. In the 90s, there's a lot of trading cards as well with various stats you can look up. But this book is great if you want to look up all those kind of details, because it has, being meant for a pen and paper game, it has role-playing type stats. Batman's dexterity, intelligence. Of course, they apply to Bruce Wayne as well. Now, there was a character I wasn't even familiar with at all. I don't think she's very well known. When I looked up, she appeared in the comic book from 1981 to 80, I think it was 5 or 6. And that's Julia Remarque. She's actually Alfred Pennyworth's daughter. I've never come across any reference to him having a daughter in pretty much anything since then. 90s cartoons, movies. There's never any mention of that. I guess very insignificant character maybe. Here it says she's a photographer and she worked with Vicky Vale. So I guess she'd go on reports with her and take photos for Vicky's stories. I just thought that was interesting. And here are the Outsiders. It says they're a group of heroes formed through Batman's leadership, but they didn't have a singular purpose for their formation. So, just a group of heroes that would go around fighting crime, I guess. This Batman helped put it together. And of course, in the back you got villains. And they give you really just so much information. I think it's great. It's the kind of stuff I like. I love statistics. And you get the details on his utility belt, each item. And there's information on the vehicles as well. Now this Batcopter looks quite different than the Corgi one. And they talk about how they design characters. I'll just jump to the back because this is another favorite of mine is maps. And this has a few fold-out maps. They might not fit perfectly in the frame here. Try to get a good view of them. This is the Wayne Foundation. This is a really unique looking building. It looks like it's kind of hollow in the middle. I don't know, to me this looks like a big tree with Bruce Wayne's penthouse up top. It's the Wayne Foundation penthouse with the floor plan over here. And you can see down here, this goes to a kind of a mini bat cave. Am I cut off? Yeah, I'm cut off. Sorry. It's like a mini bat cave under the foundation. That map, that's on the other map. This flip side is Wayne Manor. Alright, this is vertical, so I'm going to have to do half and half here. So it's the floor plan for Wayne Manor. And they even has, at this point, I guess they're into Nightwing. Nightwing was in the book. So they have Dick Grayson's bedroom and Jason Todd's bedroom. That'd be the next Robin. And top floor is, of course, all Bruce Wayne's, basically. He has a private video library, an office, a meeting area. And I like floor plans. I don't know if they're that interesting to everybody, but You even have a, see if I'm on here, disguise storage / makeup room, and stairs down to the bat cave. Now this is the basement level, but it looks like on the first floor there's a hidden staircase behind the clock, which would go down to the bat cave, I would think, unless it just goes into the basement. It doesn't actually say. There is an elevator as well. So I'm going to jump to the next one, which is the bat cave and the bat cave under the foundation. Let me just move the book out of the way so it stops pushing up. So it's just kind of a miniature bat cave. Looks like he's got a computer set up. And it says 1 mile to warehouse exit. And they have underground aquatic dock. So I guess he would have, you know, the car, a boat. And even here it says bat plane elevator. Abandoned building aerial hangar. He's got various exits. Half mile to hangar, 1 mile to dock, 1 mile to foundation bat cave. So this actually goes farther away from the foundation, I guess, if it's the whole mile. I don't know if they mean the ramp down or this goes like way out somewhere else, all underground. And this gives you a scale. So these are on a grid pattern, likely for the role-playing game. You must move a person around a grid. It says each square is equal to 5 feet. Alright, so on the back side is the actual bat cave. Now, bat cave's been, you know, redesigned for various media over the years, so this would have just been accurate probably to the comic book, or they made their own for the game. And this is from, I don't know if I mentioned, from 1986. And it's got 5 levels. You know, there's a rooftop, which would be, I guess, for the copter. I mentioned turntables, which is probably where you park the car, because you often see that in Batman shows where he turns the car once he parks it. And it's like a car maintenance area. Down here is a museum, gym, workshop, this whole computer setup. So I think it's pretty cool to look at these kind of maps. I don't know that any other superhero has such an elaborate type of setup. A lot of them tend to work out of either nothing or maybe a headquarter type building. Okay, on to the 90s. This is, I think it's a cool display piece to set up like that. I mean, it's just like a half that sits on a table, but I think it's meant to be a flashlight because one, it lights up, and they tell you there's a little writing here that says to peel this off when ready to use, but that would take the whole bat symbol off his chest, and who wants to do that? So it's not very bright to begin with, but I guess you remove that, it's a little brighter. It's actually made by Whitman's, the chocolate company. It's from 1997, and it has a clip here, so I think it's meant for a kid to wear on his belt and then kind of use it as a light. And it has storage inside. It came with chocolates, and I haven't eaten them, so they're still wrapped up. And they have pictures of characters on the wrappers. There's Batman, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Harley Quinn. There's some duplicates. There's a Riddler in here and a Robin. So once you eat the chocolate, you can store whatever fits in here. Kind of like a utility belt, I guess. I don't know, I just think it's a nice display piece. He looks like the animated series Batman. Alright, last item. A Keepsake Ornament from Hallmark. I have quite a few keepsakes. This is my only Batman one. And they were expensive. I don't know if I paid full retail. This one was $14.95. And it's from 1995. It says on the back that it's based on the 60s. It says 60s vintage Batmobile. I've actually never hung any of my ornaments, all the collectible types. I don't have a full-size tree though either. It has a lot of bubble wrap. It's only plastic though. Let's see, dump it out here. So, I mean, you wouldn't want to have a real heavy ornament for your tree anyway. It would just bend the branch. So this all is kind of light. It's fully plastic. But I think it looks really cool. It's got the bat symbols on the wheels and the side. There's one bat on the back as well. It's a very long car. But the detail on the characters is nice. It's got Batman and Robin in their capes. Appear to be blowing in the wind as they drive a convertible. And that's it. That's it for the video. But I certainly have more Batman items. I just didn't think, too many were worth looking at on video. But they will be in the blog. I'll have a blog entry for this video, so check the description. That'll link to the blog. And there will be a lot of photos of these items as well as other items. So, thanks for watching.